Hello friends, welcome to Cybers. Today we are going to discuss most important concept in percentage, that is successive percentage change. ఏంటి సార్ సక్సెసివ్ పర్సెంటేజ్ చేంజ్ అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ పెట్రోల్ 100 rupees initially. First increment by 10%. First increment by 10%. Increment nothing but upward arrow mark. Then afterwards it is increment by 20%. Find out overall percentage change. Overall percentage change. Generally, numerical గా చూసుకుంటే సార్ ఇట్స్ 10% plus 20% that is equal to 30% గా చెప్తాం 30% increment, but it's a false statement. So further, what is correct value, what is correct percentage? So we have to know this. For example, as per formula oriented, ఈ ఫార్ములా ఎవ్రీ బుక్స్ లో కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుందండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇనిషియల్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ బై ఎక్స్ పర్సెంటేజ్, ఆఫ్టర్వర్డ్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ బై వై పర్సెంటేజ్. ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ఓవరాల్ పర్సెంటేజ్ చేంజ్ అంటే ఎలా చేస్తామంటే, ఇంక్రిమెంట్ యూ షుడ్ టేక్ అ పాజిటివ్, ఇంక్రిమెంట్ యూ షుడ్ టేక్ పాజిటివ్. సో దట్స్ వై ఎక్స్ ప్లస్ వై ప్లస్ ఎక్స్ వై బై 100 పర్సెంటేజ్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అని చెప్తాం. సో ఎక్స్ పర్సెంట్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్, వై పర్సెంట్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్. సో ఓవరాల్ ఎంత పర్సెంట్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అంటే ఎక్స్ ప్లస్ వై ప్లస్ ఎక్స్ వై బై 100% ఇంక్రిమెంట్. సో ఒకసారి అబ్జర్వ్ చేద్దాం. ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ 10%, ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ వై 20%. సో ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ 10 కదండి, 10 ప్లస్ 20 ప్లస్ 10 ఇంటూ 20 బై 100, 0 0 0 0. సో 10 plus 20, 30. 1 into 1, 1 into 2 is equal to 2. 20 plus 10 plus 2, that is equal to what? 32% increment. How much increment? 32% increment. This is way number 1. So another style ఏంటి సార్ అంటే, let us say initially cost of the petrol is 100. I am going to take 100. So initially increment by how much percentage? 10%. Increment you should take like this only, 10%. 10% of 100 is equal to what? 10. 100 plus 10 is equal to what? 110. Again, it is increment by how much percentage? 20%. So 20% again we are going to increment. So 20% of 110 is equal to what? 10% of 110 is equal to 11. 20% is equal to what? 22. So 110 plus 22. 110 plus 22 is equal to 132. Let us observe. Here we are going to calculate percentage change. Sir, initially 100, right now we have 132 rupees. How much percentage change here? Generally, percentage change is equal to difference of initial value and final value divided by initial value into 100. So, initial value 100, final value 132. Difference is nothing but what? 32. Difference nothing but 32. 32 by reference value is 100 into what here? 100. 100 gets cancelled. 32%. 32%. Let us start. Sir, actually, by using Potts method, we can solve this problem also. 10% is equal to what we discussed in previous sessions, that is 1 by 10. 20% is nothing but 1 by 5. So here 10 and 5 are reference values. So like this, 10 into 5 is equal to what, sir? 50. Here, next, here initially how much percentage? 10% increment. So 10% of 10 is equal to what? 1. 10% of 10 is equal to what? 1. And 20% of 5 is equal to what? 1. So 10 plus 1 is equal to what here? 11. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. So 11 into 6. 11 6 are 66. 66. Here initial value is a 50. Final value is 66. What about difference? Difference is nothing but 16. 16 by reference value is a 50 into 100. 50 ones are 50 twos are 16 twos is equal to what? 32%. 32%. Sir, here let us observe. No need to calculate every time 10% of 10 and 20% of 5. Simply we are going to add here. 10 plus 1 is equal to what? 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. 5 plus 1 is equal to what? 6. Simply 5 plus 1, 10 plus 1, 11 into 66 రాస్తున్నాం. Let us observe here. Sir, in case increment వచ్చినప్పుడు యాడ్ చేయాలి, అదే డిక్రిమెంట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు we should take subtract there. We are going to take one more example. Should take initially 20% increment, afterwards we should take 25% increment. Sir, no need to take this one. 20% plus 25% is equal to 45%. మన ఆన్సర్ అని తీసుకోకూడదు. It's a be careful about this here. Let us solve. Method 1, method 1, method 1 as per formula, this is x% increment and this is a y% increment. So 20% plus 25 plus 20 into 25 by 100. So 20 plus 25 is 45. So 25 ones are 25 fours are 4 ones are 4 fives are 20 plus 25, 45, 45 plus 5 is equal to what? A 50% increment as per formula. And second method what we discussed, initially we should take what? 100. So initially how much percentage? 20%. 20% of 100 is a 20. 100 plus 20 is equal to what? 120. Again it is increment by how much percentage? 25%. 25% of 120 is equal to what? 30. So 120 plus 30 is equal to what? 150. Here you should observe percentage change. Percentage change nothing but difference of initial value and final value by initial value into 100. That's why initial value is 100, final value is 150. Difference is the 50 by reference value is 100 into 100. So how much percentage? 50 percentage. And by using parts method, sir, 20% nothing but what? 1 by 5. And 25% nothing but what? 1 by 4. Let us observe, sir. Initially we should take 5 as a reference value and it is nothing but 4. 5 fours nothing but 20. Here we are going to increment, that's why 5 plus 1 is equal to 6 and 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So 6 5 is equal to what? 30. Initial value is 20, final value is 30. Difference is nothing but what? 10. Reference value is 20 into 100. So 1 by 2 is equal to how much percentage? 50 percentage. So different way, A way chesina kuda, our answer should be what here? 50%, 50%, 50%. Okay. Up to now, we discussed x% increment and y% increment. In case, sir, initially it is increment by x% and afterwards it is decrement by y%, then what can we do now? So, at this case, sir, simply what we discussed previous class, x% increment and y% increment. X% increment, you should take positive value. Decrement, nothing but you should take negative. So, x minus y minus xy by 100 as per formula. Here percentage. Here result may be positive or negative. In case you should get positive, here percentage increment is present. In case negative is present, answer will be decrement. Let us take one example here. Let us observe. Initially it is increment by 30%. Afterwards decrement by 20%. Find out overall percentage change. Sir, in place of x is what? 30. Y nothing but 20. So 30 minus 20 minus 30 into 20 by what? 100. 30 minus 20 is equal to 30 minus 20 minus 3 2 is nothing but 6. 30 minus 20 minus 6 is equal to what? 4. How much percentage increment? 4%. Why? Because here our value is positive. So another method we have, for example, we should take 100. How much percentage increment? 30%. So 30% of this nothing but what? 30. 100 plus 30, 130. Again, how much decrement? 20%. 20% decrement. Decrement nothing but we should take downward arrow. So 20% of 130 is equal to what? 26. 130 minus 26 is equal to what? 104. Initial value is 100. Final value is 104. Here percentage change is present. So initial 100, 104. So difference is 4. 4 by 100 into 100. That is equal to how much percentage? 4 percentage increment. And by using thoughts method, we are going to calculate. Yeah, by using thoughts method, 30% increment here and 20% decrement here. Sir, 30% nothing but what? 3 by 10. 20% nothing but what? 1 by 5. As we discussed previous. 10, 5 as a reference. 10 into 5 is equal to what? 50, sir. And here increment present, that's why we are going to add 10 plus 3 is equal to what? 30 into decrement undi kabatti 5 minus 1 is equal to what? 4. 13 fourths is equal to what? 52. Here initial value is 50 and right now value is 52. So a difference nothing but what, sir? 2. Reference value is 50. 2 by 50 into 100. 51 is 52 is how much percentage? 4 percentage increment. 4 percentage increment. Right. We are going to take another example, sir. Sir, initially 30% increment and 50% decrement. Then what we are going to do? Sir, initial value is what here? 100. How much increment? 30% increment. 30% of 100? 30. 100 plus 30? 130. How much percent is decrement here? 50%. So 50% of 130 is equal to what? 65. 130 minus 65 is equal to what? 65. Sir, initial value 100, final value is 65. Is it decrement or increment? Yes, decrement. How much decrement here? 100 nunchi 65, how much decrement? 35 is decrement. How much percentage decrement? Nothing but difference by reference value into 100. That's why difference is 35, reference value is 100 into 100. So how much percent is it? 35% increment, decrement value. Then next, another example, another example. 30% increment, 30 minus kabatti minus 50. Next, minus 30 into 50 by 100. 0, 0, 0, 0 gets cancelled. 50 minus 50 plus 30 is equal to minus 20. Minus 3 plus 5, 3 into 5 is equal to 15. Minus 20 minus 15 is equal to what? Minus 35%. So minus indicates what? It's a decrement. So how much percent is decrement here? 35% decrement here. Right. Next. Here, initially X percentage decrement and afterwards Y percentage decrement. Find overall percentage increment or decrement. Here, let us take one example, sir. Initially 20% decrement, afterwards 30% decrement. Find out overall percentage change. Let us observe here. Initially, I am going to take 100 value, reference value, 20% decrement. That's right. 20% decrement చేస్తున్నా 20% of 100 is equal to what? 20. 100 minus 20 is equal to what, sir? 80. Again, we are going to decrement how much percentage here? 30%. So 30% of 80. 30% of 80 is equal to what? 10% of 80 is equal to 8. 20% 24. And 30% is equal to what? 3 8s are 24. 80 minus 24 is equal to what? 56. Sir, initial value 100. Final value nothing but what, sir? 56. How much decrement here? Decrement nothing but what? 100 minus 56. 100 minus 56 is equal to what? 44. 44 by reference value is 100. 44 by 100 into 100, that is equal to how? How much percentage? 44% decrement. As per formula, I should take, sir, generally X percent decrement, Y percent decrement. Decrement you should take what? Negative. That's why, sir, minus x minus y minus or plus x y by 100 percentage as per formula. Let us observe. Sir, minus x nothing but what? 20 minus 20 minus 30 plus 20 into 30 by what? 100. 0, 0, 0, 0. Minus 20 minus 30 minus 50. 2 3s are nothing but 6. Minus 50 plus 6 is equal to what? Minus 44. Minus 44. Minus indicates force, it's a decrement. Now using thoughts method, we are going to solve this one. 20% decrement and 30% decrement. 20% decrement, 30% decrement. 20% is equal to what? 1 by 5. 30% nothing but what? 3 by 10. So initial value is 5 and 10. 5 into 10. That is equal to what? 50. Next. Decrement కాబట్టి ఏం చేయాలా? Minus. 5 minus 1 is equal to what? 4. 10 minus 3 is equal to what? 7. 4 7s are 20. 8. And difference nothing but what, sir? Difference nothing but what? 15 నుంచి 28 పోతే 22 by 50 into 100. 50 ones are 52s are 22 2s are is equal to what? 44%. Here decrement percent. Why? Because ఇనిషియల్ వాల్యూ 50, ఫైనల్ వాల్యూ ఎంత ఉందండి 28. కాబట్టి డిక్రిమెంట్ ఉంది, ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఉందా? డిక్రిమెంట్. ఎంత డిక్రిమెంట్ ఉంది? 22. కాబట్టి ఎంత పర్సెంటేజ్ వస్తుంది? 44% డిక్రిమెంట్ అవుతుంది. X percentage increment and again X percent decrement. Find out overall percentage change. X percent increment and X percent decrement. బ్లైండ్ గా మనం ఆన్సర్ చేస్తే సార్ X% ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అయింది, X% డిక్రిమెంట్ అయింది కాబట్టి దేర్ ఇస్ నో చేంజ్, జీరో అని చెప్తాం. బట్ ఇట్స్ రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్. వై? బికాస్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రైట్ నో యూఆర్ గెటింగ్ ఒక 1000 రూపీస్ శాలరీ వస్తుంది అనుకున్నాం. రైట్ నో 1000 రూపీస్ శాలరీ వస్తుంది. సో 20% ఇనిషియల్ గా ఇంక్రిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాం. 20%. 20% ఆఫ్ 1000 ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు వాట్? 200 rupees increment. So 1000 plus 200 is equal to what? 1200 rupees. In case దాని తర్వాత 20% డిక్రిమెంట్ చేశారు అనుకుందాం ఇప్పుడున్న వాల్యూ పైన. సో 20% ఆఫ్ దిస్ నథింగ్ బట్ వాట్? 240. సో 1200 minus 240 is equal to what, sir? 960. Sir, let us observe. ఇనిషియల్ గా మనకు వచ్చే శాలరీ 1000. రైట్ నౌ వి ఆర్ గెటింగ్ 960. Decrement ఉందా, ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఉందా? Definitely there is a decrement. How much decrement here? Difference. So 1000 కి 960 difference ఎంతండి? 40. 40 by 1000 into 100. How much percentage అంటే 4%. 4% ఏంటి? Decrement ఇంక్రిమెంట్? Decrement. Let us observe, sir. Generally X% increment and X percentage increment, X% decrement ఉన్న cases లో there is always loss. That is loss is X square by 100. X square by 100. Loss indicates was negative symbol here. So minus X square by 100. Example గా ఒక క్వశ్చన్ చూద్దాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సార్, ఇనిషియల్లీ 30% ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఉంది, ఆఫ్టర్వర్డ్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డిక్రిమెంట్ బై 30%. ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ఓవరాల్ పర్సంటేజ్ చేంజ్ అని అడుగుతాడు. అడిగినప్పుడు సింపుల్ గా మన ఆన్సర్ ఈజ్ వాట్? 9% డిక్రిమెంట్ అని చెప్పాలి. అది ఎలా సార్ అంటే ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ వాట్? 30. సో 30 స్క్వేర్ బై 100. 30 square is equal to what? 900 by 100. 2 zeros cancel. How much percentage? 9% is decrement. So up to now discussed first X percentage increment and Y percent increment. So from this X plus Y plus XY by 100 percentage increment and చెప్తాం. Next second one, X percentage increment and Y percentage decrement. From this in place of decrement you should take what? Negative symbol. So X minus Y minus XY by 100 percentage. ఇక్కడ మేబీ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఆర్ డిక్రిమెంట్ రెండు అవ్వచ్చు. పాజిటివ్ రిజల్ట్స్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్, నెగటివ్ రిజల్ట్స్ వాట్? డిక్రిమెంట్. నెక్స్ట్ third step what we discussed, X percentage decrement and Y percentage decrement. From this minus X minus Y plus XY by 100 percentage here gives always decrement result. Next and fourth one, same X percentage increment and X percentage decrement. Overall always a decrement, or decrement nothing but what? X square by 100%. Yes, it's useful for all competitive examinations, right? In this advanced technique here. So by using formulas, you can solve some questions, but by parts method only we can solve some of the questions. Let us discuss the questions. Let's take one example here, sir. Initially 16 2/3% increment. Afterwards it is decrement by 20%. Find out overall percentage change. Let us observe, sir. Generally increment decrement, so plus X minus Y minus XY by 100 as using formula, but it's 16 2/3, it's a mixed fraction. For this you should blindly use force method. Why? Because 16 2/3% is equal to what? 1/6. 20% is equal to what? 1 by 5. Here also. A reference value is 6 and this is a 5. 6 into 5 is equal to what, sir? 30. And this increment present, so we are going to add denominator and numerator. 6 plus 1 is equal to what, sir? 7. And here decrement is present, we are going to subtract from denominator. 5 minus 1 is equal to what? 4. So that is equal to 30. What about here? 28. Is it decrement or increment? Yes, of course it's a decrement. Why? Because here value is 30, 28. Difference is what? 2. So 2 by reference value is 30 into 100. 2 ones are 2 15s. 1 by 15 of 100 is equal to what? 6. 2 by 3 percentage. So another example you should take. 16 2 by 3% increment. Afterwards, it is increment by 14 2 by 7%. Then find out overall percentage change. So 16 2 by 3% increment is equal to what? 1 by 6. This is what? 1 by 7. So initially we should take 6 7. 6 into 7. And increment, that's why 6 plus 1 is equal to what? 7 into 7 plus 1 is equal to what? 8. So 6 sevens are 42, 7 eights are 56. A difference is nothing but what? 14. 14 by reference value is 42 into 100. So 14 ones are 14 threes are 1/3 of 100 is equal to what, sir? 33 1 by 3%. And this, yes, from this definitely you will get minimum 2 to 3 marks in bank examination, SSC, and SI constable. For all competitive exam, it's most useful for you. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, like, share, comment, and subscribe the video. Thank you very much.